Okay, last week's comedy episode of The X-Files was great, even if it did steal its plot from an episode of The Angry Video Game Nerd. But I don't want. But I feel like anything I would say about that would give the joke away. Plus, I was too loopy at the time from the painkillers to really do a review of it. But anyway, so it gives way to this week, which is a far more serious episode, which begins in what I can only say is classic X-Files fashion. Two girls on an old rotting ship, tanker ship of some kind, it looks like, wandering around. One of them falls through a floor, and then they each see a monster and start slashing at it with knives. We then find out that when we catch up with Mulder and Scully, that Scully has been having dreams again, like she had at the beginning of the season. Only this time a figure was leading her through locations into snow globes of locations. They're alarmed when they find out that when they realize that the latest X-File, these two girls, who frankly are both still alive, is the tanker ship from Scully's dream. The two girls just stood in place and slashed at each other with knives until they both lost enough blood to pass out, but they'll be fine. Although I have to question their reaction. They each seem to have saw each other as a big snarling monster, which I have to question their reaction to. Because if I was seeing a monster, even if I was armed with a knife, if I saw a big snarling monster coming at me, I don't think I'd stand there and try to take it on with a knife. If I thought it was getting close to me, I'd probably slash at it, but then I'd run. When do people stop becoming cowards? Cowardice keeps you alive. Sitting around trying to fight an alien monster with a knife gets you dead. People, be cowards again. Hashtag be a coward. The Warner's Call even find out that the Department of Defense is for some reason interested in the case too and trying to brush them off. But this makes them even more interested. And it gets even worse when Scully has more dreams and they think that it has to do with her psychic link with Scully's son, who they think is both of their sons, but who we learned in the season opener is actually the Smoking Man's son because he raped Scully. Come on, Chris Carter. We do not watch the X-Files because we want to hear about Scully getting raped. Are you deranged? I mean, this has got to be up there with, having Mary Jane miscarry and huge calculus. Just thought of something. Both of those things involve somebody messing with a redhead lady. I have no idea. What is it with science fiction and doing horrible, abhorrent things to redheaded female characters? I don't get it. But yeah, and how sick it makes me feel every time I think about it. That's up there with Mary Jane miscarrying in the comics. Look it up. And we have another reason why editorial mandates are the work of the devil. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, the X-Files. It has to do with her psychic link with her son and William, who they suspect to be at the heart of why these girls had their visions. And they then find out each girl was sort of dating the same guy. I'm not sure if you can call it two-typing because I don't know, because they're they're all still in high school. I think I think they give the ages 16 at this point, so it's like, I'm not sure. Is that really true timing, or is it just what kids do in high school? So anyway, so they find his address, and they find their son. Only they come there and they find out. Only they find the two adopted parents dead, and so is William. Yeah. And they find a bunch of snow globes in his house or something. And anyway, and what's more, the Department of Defense completely shuts them out of the case, and in fact, puts out the story that William killed his parents and then himself. However, Mulder and Scully suspect there's more to this, and they don't. For one thing, William's gunshot wound doesn't look self-inflicted, and he seems to have been worried about something. Mulder notices something that concerns him. First of all, of course, Mulder is concerned about the lack of porn on his son's computer. Only Mulder. And then he notices that he's been getting secret computer programs and all sorts of secret info, looking up himself in all the bunch of programs. From the bunch of programs on the dark web, and looking up classified government documents and stuff. Yeah, and he's all into conspiracy theories, which, yeah. Are we 100% sure Mulder isn't the father? 100%? Who's that guy on TV who gets all those ratings for a paternity test? Do we need him? Do we? Just to be sure, Mulder runs a DNA test, and he finds out that, yes, this is Scully's son, although he doesn't run a test to check that if it's his son, so I don't get it. Has he watched the episodes? Does he know what's going on? Well, anyway, then we get to what may be the most heartbreaking scene in the X-Files, actually. We've never seen Scully broken down this much. She's in the morgue with her son, and she just has a complete breakdown. And yeah, I know some people will probably take issue with such a strong character as Scully having this breakdown, but think about it. She gave up everything to keep him safe. Everything. And it was all for nothing. Yeah. Anyway, we find out that there were a bunch of experiments done in the 70s. Scully then, after that, runs into a very nice Japanese man. We then find out that there were a bunch of experiments done with the 70s to create human alien hybrids, and when they displayed a bunch of powers, the experiments were gotten rid of and dumped, and that's where all this comes in. Some of the people had the ability to make people see whatever they want. So they then find out that William just caused everyone to see his dead body, but he really wasn't dead. They just saw him as a dead body, and then once nobody was in the morgue, he ran off. This, of course, means that because of Scully's breakdown, he knows that she is his real mother. But he's on the run from the Department of Defense. Department of Defense agents corner him in an office where they're going to try and clean up him by just shooting to kill him. We then find out that Skinner is total. We also find out that Skinner is pretty much totally on the Smoking Man's side. He's lying to Mulder and Scully throughout this episode. He's answering to the Smoking Man. So yeah, there's no question. He's on the Smoking Man's side. He can rot for all I care. And he lets Mulder go after this kid thinking that it's his. Yeah, go so to hell, Skinner. So anyway, their son makes the agents see each other as Scully, so that they shoot each other, and then he gets away, making Mulder and Scully not see him as a clean lad. But Scully is fine with him just be okay. She then goes to the gas station, finds the same Japanese man who she suspects there, and they basically have a very nice conversation where he tells her that she seems like a very nice lady. He understands why she gave up her son, and that he's going to be okay. She suspects that it's the Japanese man, but Mulder. She suspects that the Japanese man is the guy running the experiments, but Mulder has another idea, and he goes to the surveillance camera at the gas station. Looking at the tape where William's powers don't look, it turns out it's William, and he's driven off to who knows where. This is a great episode of the X-Files, in my opinion, and it helps redeem this season that didn't start very well. All the character moments are great and on point, but that's not the. It has scary premise. It has scary stuff in it. It has a lot of conspiracy stuff, and heading into the final episodes of the series, it seems to set up things that will come into play. So, I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10. It's well worth watching, and so far the best episode of this season.